I'm Sean Lewis, Director of Development Services for the City of San Angelo. Today we want to introduce you to the Development Services Department and tell you a little bit more about who we are and what we do. The easiest way to describe development services is to think of us as a one-stop shop for development activity. For instance, let's say you want to renovate your home or start a business, maybe expand an existing business. The Development Services staff uses policies and guidelines that are found in the San Angelo Code of Ordinances to try to help make sure that our neighborhoods and our commercial areas are safe and well planned. Policies like the zoning ordinance, the subdivision ordinance, building codes, and fire codes are used throughout cities in the United States to make sure that our communities are safe and well planned. And San Angelo is no different. Our department also focuses heavily on neighborhood revitalization and economic development. For instance, while inspectors and code enforcement officers are working throughout the city on any given day to try to keep our neighborhoods and our commercial areas safe and clean, we also have started providing incentives that can really help businesses expand their operations. For instance, you can get grants now from the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone to do things like facade renovations, plant landscaping in front of your business, maybe build sidewalks or something to, again, make the business more attractive and more economically viable. So while we are enforcing a lot of regulations, we're also focused heavily on trying to create a climate that's good for business. So we want to spur economic development through job creation, as well as making our community more attractive, so it's a more livable and attractive community for all citizens of San Angelo. Our goal as a department is to make the development process as smooth and efficient as possible. We've made a number of changes in the last few years that have really helped to streamline some processes, such as permitting new construction, subdividing property into commercial or residential lots, to make the processes faster and more efficient. One of the services that we now provide is called the Development Review Committee, or DRC. During the DRC, anyone who wants to develop property in San Angelo can come and meet with various divisions within our department that handle development review. For instance, let's say you want to start a business or take raw land and build a new building or subdivide that land. Individuals from the permits office, the planning office, engineering, fire prevention, as well as the water department meet with you to look at your land and look at your project and to give you input on heading off problems before they become problems later.
We make use of the DRC process and encourage our clients to be a part of it. This allows us to meet with key city staff and discuss project requirements and enables us to introduce a project and talk over ways to enhance the outcome. Staff also identifies items that are important to address from a regulatory perspective. This is particularly helpful when it's necessary to plat or rezone a property. After going through the DRC process, we are able to react to the city's comments in a positive direction. This enables the platting or site plan review to be accomplished more streamlined and can save time from a design and review perspective. Since the city has implemented these new processes, we've been able to produce results more efficiently for our clients.
We are the Permits and Inspections Department. Our mission is to assist in the development process here in San Angelo through permitting and inspection services. In a nutshell, we review plans and inspect construction to ensure compliance with the local building codes. We do this in an effort to maintain a safe and livable community here in San Angelo. Our role in the development process can sometimes be a tough one. We're often known as the bully or the bad guy because we tell people what they can and cannot do. What we're trying to teach people, though, is by doing our jobs and by doing our jobs correctly, we are creating more quality construction in town, which not only promotes safety, but also helps maintain property values and creates a more comfortable living environment for everyone. Our biggest focus at the moment is education. Not only education for ourselves, which we continuously do. Our inspectors are all certified. They either have state licenses in their respective fields or they're ICC certified, if not both. But we have to maintain continuing education, and we're always having to train in new areas of construction and new products that are always coming out. But we're also trying to focus on education of the public. We're trying to focus on telling people who we are, what we do, why we do the things we do. Essentially, we're here to make San Angelo, as I said earlier, a safe and more livable community.
City planning has many functions, though the overall objective is to make the connection between the present and the future, between the big picture and the fine details, and between the built environment and those who live in it. Much of our work stems from policies, ordinances, citizen requests, and enforcement. However, I believe our greatest contributions are the forecasting of future needs and consideration for consequences of current decisions, as well as maintaining the city's comprehensive plan. This plan is a collective vision for the development and growth of San Angelo, formed from the input of citizens and professionals. Both in day-to-day and long-term decision-making, the planning staff is responsible for ensuring that decisions align with this overall vision. One of the prevalent themes in this vision is revitalization. Neighborhoods, corridors, and transitional zoning areas will be examined and studied in order to determine opportunities for encouraging revitalization and for mitigating effects of gentrification and directional growth.
San Angelo Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, is a transportation planning organization for San Angelo. The MPO Board of Directors is represented by top officials from the city, county, TxDOT, Chamber of Commerce, Council of Governments, and other agencies with a stake in transportation in the Concho Valley. By working together, federal, state, and local agencies are able to use a unified planning approach for transportation services, which avoids conflicting plans, duplicated projects, or funding conflicts between priorities in the San Angelo Metropolitan Planning Area.
Current projects include a Red Arroyo pedestrian trail. This project is proposed to run along the Red Arroyo River and would extend from Knickerbocker Road to Sherwood Way. The pathway, approximately 3.7 miles, includes a 14-foot overall width that would be used for pedestrians and bicycles. Amenities planned include drinking fountains, benches, and restroom facilities. The multimodal terminal is a project by the Concho Valley Transit District and the City of San Angelo. Located on Chadburn Street at East 6th Street, the former Western Ironworks building, this will be a hub of transit and transportation activities including rural, city, and inner-city buses, along with the MPO offices. The Safe Routes to School program is a comprehensive program designed to improve the bicycle and pedestrian safety of school-aged children. The program's objectives are to enable and encourage children in grades K through 8, including those with disabilities, to walk and bicycle to school. We also have a project called the Lone Wolf Bridge. In 2005, San Angelo had a pedestrian and bicycle plan that was adopted by the City Council. The plan provides us with a strategy for creating an environment where people could choose to bicycle or walk to their destinations. It provides a common vision for non-motorized transportation. In 2009, to further the plan and as part of the pedestrian system, the MPO received $1.2 million for the historic Lone Wolf Bridge. This is to refurbish and refit for pedestrian use. The railroad crossings in San Angelo will be redone. There are 42 crossings that are ranked as poor or worse, and we have received $1 million from Congressman Conaway's office in the fiscal year 2010 appropriations bill to correct this problem. This will upgrade the crossings from timber to concrete, and the construction on the crossings will start October 1st and be completed by December 31st of this year.
The purpose of the Fire Prevention Division is to protect life and property from the threat of fire and explosion. This is accomplished through education in San Angelo schools and to the general public, routine fire inspections in businesses and public buildings, and investigation of all fires in which arson is suspected.
The role of fire prevention and revitalization of the downtown area particularly is what I think of as intent of the code versus the black and white law of the code. Many of the buildings down here were actually built before there was any semblance or thought of any type of building or fire prevention code. Consequently, a lot of the things that we have to deal with are modern issues in which these buildings were never constructed or intended to adhere to. So what we look at as an organization is the actual intent of the code versus the black and white. One of the things that was recently adopted by the council helps the residential portion of the downtown area quite a bit. The actual code says any residential occupancy has to be sprinklered. This is quite expensive. It's a wonderful asset as far as fire prevention, fire safety, saving lives, saving property goes. But some of these buildings, because of their actual construction, makes it prohibitive to install these systems. What the council did approve was smoke detection in lieu of a sprinkler system along with a 30-minute fire barrier. This makes it so that it's reasonable for these buildings to still be within the intent of the code, meet what needs to be established for a reasonable amount of safety for the people as well as the building itself.
The city's dangerous building program addresses buildings within the city limits that are dilapidated, unsafe, and otherwise just a blight on the neighborhood. A lot of these buildings, as you can see, like this one behind me, are dangerous just in their general condition. But there's also danger for children, animals, there's health hazards, there are various things that can occur because these buildings sit vacant within the city and they are called an attractive nuisance. And as with this one, you can see that it's burned, it has been on fire, and it is an obvious danger to the citizens because of the fact that we do have wood that falls off, floors and steps that are uneven that could break. As you come in, the first thing, of course, you notice is the extent of the fire damage, but what you also notice is we've got insulation hanging from the ceiling, you've got debris all over the floor, and if you look closely at the floor, you can tell it's already been tromped and trampled, which means we've already had a lot of foot traffic through this building. In most situations, we will try and work with a homeowner. We will attempt where it is possible to get a building fixed up, at least get it secured so that no one can be going in and perhaps causing more damage or set the building on fire. If that is not possible, such as a structure as this one, then we will work with the owner to try and get it torn down so we can alleviate the situation. Creates an empty lot, but at least that gives a place for new construction to begin.
Our primary function for the City of San Angelo is engineering and surveying. Included in that is project design through our capital improvements program, construction and management of those construction projects. This Avenue N project is one of those projects. It was identified as a need through a joint study completed between City of San Angelo and Angelo State University. We've reconfigured this intersection, made Avenue N wider, incorporated a center turn lane into the design, and we hope that we'll be able to move a lot more traffic through this intersection much more efficiently, that people will use this intersection instead of cutting through neighborhoods and so forth. Additionally, engineering services is involved in the development process. From the point where an individual or a developer may come to the City of San Angelo with an idea for a development, we are giving them guidance with respect to streets, sidewalks, stormwater, and so forth, making sure that their plans and their design adhere to city standards and so forth. So overall, from the project design for these civil design type projects, construction management, through the development process, working with the developers to come up with a plan for development, reviewing those plans for the development, ensuring that the construction is proceeding per city standards, accepting those improvements, and floodplain management are our primary focus in engineering services.